Okay, hello my audience. Today I'm going to be editing some photos over here again. And in this episode I have some abstract photos and some nature photos. And I'm thinking that I will kind of overlay these first. Kind of like this. We have some trees and windows. Let's zoom it like maybe like that. That's great, that's great composition. At the start of these pictures, I usually just kind of think about the composition, so how things are laid out on the picture, and yeah, just the mathematics of it. Then I start to think about the colors and that kind of stuff. Okay, so here's a couple of more photos. I'm just using the global search on my computer. All of these photos, by the way, have been taken by me, so these are not taken from the internet. Of course, you could do this with photos from the internet, but I don't agree with that. That's not your art then. And nobody else could probably take these photos for me because I have a kind of a way to go about taking these photos. I just feel around the pictures and I kind of feel that, yeah, that's good composition. Now I want some more trees, in this, and I remember that a couple of days ago I actually took quite many, of these nature photos. So I'm gonna get more trees into this. Okay, so I have a really boring, really boring picture over here, but I'm gonna change around the colors a bit, and yeah, you could make a like wallpaper like that. It's not that hard, but it's kind of boring and minimalistic and that kind of stuff. So we're gonna change it around over here. That's already kind of good, actually. It's kind of good. So we're gonna use this like this. And let's put it on the background like this. So you see that we get this kind of interesting thing. I don't know if it should be kind of bigger, maybe a bit, but so that it doesn't go off the borders like that. Like yeah. And by the way, it's the Independence Day of Finlandia right now. I think Finlandia has been independent for something like 100 years right now. I think so. Yeah, but yeah, wasn't Finlandia? Yeah, it was part of Sweden and also part of Russia at some point. Then there was the World War II and that kind of stuff. Here we have like this line, and we have to cut this out, so to make the picture kind of good. But we're gonna do that just in the end because there might be more, of that happening in the picture in the future. But it doesn't. I'm not really happy with this yet. I feel that it requires more kind of something to it. That looks really kind of interesting and cool, but I don't know, it's just too basic and due to kind of it requires some interest in it, and the layers kind of are too, it looks like there's too much happening in it, the layers should blend into each other more. Okay, so here's a couple of photos that I took from an art exhibition. There were these paintings, this was from a watercolor painting of like flowers or something like that, and I overexposed settings, like swing the camera, and I got this. It's color, you can do that. I should take more pictures actually of my own paintings also now that I have the better camera. I should use them in this, but I have not yet done it because I have felt that at least up to this point, the compositions of those pictures have been kind of bad, and they have not like worked out as I would kind of hoped maybe. So in this one I'm going to kind of change this, and I'm going to kind of change this up. I bet it would be kind of interesting for the artists that did these paintings to kind of see what I'm doing with their stuff, because they would never recognize that. Probably they would never recognize that I actually kind of took pictures of their art. I have invented all kinds of creative ways to do my art after I started to get my elbow pains and that kind of stuff. Nowadays, the most of the work I do over here is being done on the right hand side, right hand, and I'm left-handed. So in the past, I did my art I always painted with the left hand, so it's of course it's possible that the right hand also has a life cycle, and it's going to, well, it hurts right now a little bit, but you can do this. I'm thinking about the angle of this. I said that the layer should blend more, so that's what I'm doing over here. I use this abstract kind of layers to blend the picture kind of more, and then I would try to get that shape, onto the background, and I'm going to make this one also kind of transparent. You see this shape over here, it kind of guides the eye back to the picture. And then I have this layer over here. It's almost at this point the safest and the cleverest way is probably to delete these photos from here and just work with these two. And as you can see, I don't usually cut the pictures, they have to be the whole screen, I don't usually cut them and try to blend them like that. That's too kind of finicky stuff for me. I don't do that kind of stuff. Or maybe in the future, but with this tool at least it's not really such a good idea. Of course you could do this kind of thing in the Photoshop also, and that would be probably better for that kind of stuff, but that's not really what I'm going for. This is not like digital art in a sense, it's photography art. I think it's pretty creative stuff what I'm doing over here. Yeah. This one was also taken out of a painting, but I was standing in front of the painting with my Fedora, and it's interesting all the things that have came about in this art because of my clothing choices, because of wearing this high fashion stuff like that. That's pretty UFO type of, UFO sighting type of, these look like some UFO markings, some, I like that photo, it's pretty mysterious. Yeah, it's not maybe art, but, or maybe it is, I don't know, it's not art. And art is also something where you have to elevate something else that is not maybe so much art. You have to elevate it to the level of an artist. And I have been doing this, type of poetry videos, mostly in Finnish language actually, of like using the fashion clothes also in those videos. And I just posted one of those videos for the manufacturer kind of who sells the clothes to me, and it's really interesting stuff. And I feel that in that, it applies like directly, this is really good at the point, all the layers kind of blend into each other, and it feels very, very ready. I feel that that's a good art piece on its own. You see over here that we are gonna, I always click the PNG, of course you could get like PDFs, and this is kind of if you want to save all the layers, so you can continue working on it. But the program, the Pixelara software I use, it's pretty good, it remembers your projects very much into the past, so it's awesome, and you can make it transparent. or you can make it opaque, you know. But if you have the layers right, it doesn't really matter. So that's the right, because you get a lossless format and it's 16 megabytes per picture, you know. So if you have that original file, then you can work with it. That's ready, but I'm going to still kind of try some new things with it, maybe. And over here I have this. Okay. Over here I have this photo. I'm kind of thinking about that's not maybe. Well, maybe it is a good idea, but I don't know. I'm gonna delete. Yeah, it has to be there. You know, those layers have to be there. But okay. So I feel that this is more art than this. And even if I don't like, I kind of don't like this horizontal line over here, but I'm gonna save this anyway, like this. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to save this one also. And we're gonna try. I like this kind of, you know, the Fedora shape is kind of good. You can kind of recognize it, but maybe a different angle would have been better. But maybe not. Maybe it's, yeah. Okay, very interesting stuff I'm doing over here. So like that. For example, the contrast. This is very high contrast type of a picture. That one is also good. I'm gonna go through this, and I'm gonna just save this. And it's a very interesting thing that I think it's an interesting idea that I try to make it kind of a signature art style with the Fedora type of shadow. And a lot of people contributed actually to this picture, because there were those paintings and I took the pictures out of. And in the end, you know, it's my own art still. You know, you could never recognize how it was. You could probably not even know how it was made. But yeah, these white shapes, you know, over here, they don't show clear enough. I feel they don't show clear enough. I really dig that one also. This might be one of the most kind of experimentally interesting pictures I have done, you know, up to this point. And over here we kind of play around with like a black shape and like white shapes, you know. And even this kind of even this like line, you know, I feel that it kind of belongs in the picture. It kind of gives it this feeling of like a border, and I feel that it belongs in the picture, that it shouldn't be cut out. But I don't know. Then I'm probably going to sign this, because it would be kind of because it's kind of interesting if we sign this truth detective, and then it kind of matches to the, we kind of realize, yeah, that's a Fedora. Yeah. I need some, you know, like it has to match, you know, these shapes, you know, the font I mean. That's what I always go for in the signature of the piece, that it should match to the fonts, you know. In this program you have to pay a little sum, you know, it's something like €8 or something like that for our $6 in a month to get these special fonts and unlimited saves in a day. And this just works in your browser, you know, this program. It's a very, I love it, you know. I have been using this pixel art website for like years right now, and I have been making all of my thumbnails with it, and all of my art, photography art has been made with it. And I have been using it through all of my YouTube career, and I have been learning so much about like laying out pictures and composition and this kind of stuff. It's a very nice thing, and I mainly discovered this program because I use Fedora Linux. So I mainly discovered this program because of that reason. I feel that this art piece should be signed over there, and I feel that it shouldn't show in like a really kind of how would I say it? It shouldn't. The signature shouldn't show itself very clearly, and it should be kind of like that. Maybe. Yeah. Well, let's try. Yeah, it should be like that. But I usually have usually have versions that don't have the signature, and over here it's kind of, you don't need it really. That's the final picture. I'm gonna make a version still over here that I'm gonna, so you can also see how you use the crop over here. Use the crop to this or not, like this, and then you just put it like that, and you see that it kind of loses something in it, but I'm gonna save that anyway. Okay, that's the final. That's the final art piece. Let's try a really deep color over here, and with an outline. And the outline should be kind of matching also that color. Really thin outline. Yeah, it doesn't belong in the picture, That looks better, but maybe it shouldn't be even signed, this one. Who cares? Yeah, thanks for watching this video of the process, and let's look at the final pictures over here and how I got here. Okay, so here was the first picture I kind of started from. It had 2 layers in it, I didn't show how I made this picture, so it's kind of mysterious. But yeah, also taken out of art exhibition, and the picture with the birds, it's just, well, it's a tree line. So then the next one over here. The next one we put this picture with the lamp and the windows on top of it with the snow. Then we put this picture with and you probably know these pictures actually from my vlogs, I showed you this angle. I showed you this picture. And then this one is from the summertime, this is like spanning this is like a year's worth of like photographs. This one more of an abstract photo. I don't even remember how I took that. Then there's this one. This I took just a couple of days ago. I changed around the colors and where the picture is kind of located, and then like bringing out the color in the picture. You see how the layers are kind of not very fugued, and then in this one it's better. It's just starting to look like a cohesive whole. And then I took this picture. This one was taken out of a painting painted by somebody else, but you wouldn't recognize that. This one also painted by somebody else. I took those photos myself, and then you can see the shape overlaid over here, and you can see the shape overlaid over here. And this reason I did this was just to kind of blend the colors and the shapes. And then I overlaid these two from my walk, and that's the reason why I walk a lot. You can't take good pictures out of your fucking car. Yeah, your car won't help you shit if you want to do this kind of stuff. And then this one is really starting to come together. As I said that this one is good and kind of finished, but it's really not. And only here we kind of reach an end, kind of like this feels so kind of finished, you know. It feels so finished, and that's really what I go for in my art. And here the cropped version, which one is better? Well, I don't know. I think this one is better. You know, the line in the bottom, it kind of belongs in the picture. So yeah, truth detected. Thanks for coming to watch this kind of, I don't know how would you even describe this. It's a very cryptic process, and probably very hard to replicate. Even though I showed you how I do this, probably you won't be able to achieve anything close to this, but it might be a new way to make art. Yeah, so I think it's kind of I think it's kind of good that you can, at this point I'm 27 years old, and I can put under my belt the kind of notion that I invented a new way to make art. No, no, you know. So thanks for watching.